containing all my thoughts and emotions at every second of that moment. Tears sometimes can be bittersweet. It amazes me that those tears can be as sweet as honey. One day, they can be as poisonous as poisoned ivy's drops the next day. So I'm always living in constant change, forgetting myself while I'm remembering myself at the same time, like walking a fine line between the yin and yang, caught between good and evil. Who am I and who am I not? I want to be and I used to be. So, I'm an element always changing, the human element, one that is never understood, for it works with emotions that cannot be calculated. So here I stand, confused as a man in process, solid in visual, for I am alive, and yet still breathing to maintain the blessing that God gave me. Sure everyone, my name is Oratile from Delight Room Production. I'm chilling here with Humble Drop and Fatso Entertainment. Peace. Okay. Yeah, so like when I was when the vision to have like Delight Room Records started actually when I was 17. At that moment I was actually, just tired actually, because I was writing and I was looking for a studio. There was a guy, priest from Fostoras. I think he's the one that first gave me the first experience to be in studio and record something,
Oh, my child.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I know he's priest right now. Like I mean back then he was his AKA was priest.
Okay.
So it's a long history, but let me just fast forward through it and tell you. So it took me to my first recording experience after performing, I can say, for like 2 years at that time under Umbrella Entertainment. Just writing poems and performing at a park, whether we are grabbing a train going to PTA or Val. I was always somewhere, right? And then the first recording experience, when I realized that when I wanted to record, I struggled.
Oh, so you have to travel like long journey for yourself to be.
Yeah, and another thing was when Priest paid for the studio, I realized, okay, there's money now, that's involved. So how do I save money and get maximum impact? I'm gonna save, and I'm gonna start my own studio. Alright. so that basically at that point, my idea was that there was a lot of hip hop that was recorded. We are buying like CDs at $20, $20, $50 a pop, whatever.
Yeah, man.
Right? But poetry, it seemed like it didn't have its own space on the shelf to buy anything, right? So I kind of like realized, okay, if I take all of these poets from the open mic sessions and whatnot, and then I invite them into studio, I'm like, look, your poem was dope, you record it, whatever, I don't even want royalties, nothing, just for the fact that it's documented in time.
Yeah.
Just take it and go.
Safe. Because sometimes it's a freestyle poem.
Dude, exactly.
You may be writing poetry, but at some point there's that you are in the zone and you're doing some stuff.
Look, if I look at today's generation, right?
Yeah, man.
Poets, I can say, this is my own opinion, come and kill me if you want to, but poetry has become so pacified. It is so soft, it is so considerate, and we grew up from the point of, if it hurts, it's a lesson to be learned.
Wow.
Or if it hurts, it's the truth, right? Fine. So
because it deals with emotions.
It deals with emotions, and it criticizes your youth and your ability. It puts fire under your
society,
and
the environment.
Because the thing is, the poets that we were back in the day, right? I can say most of us were upstanding citizens in terms of the academics of what are we thinking and what are we feeling, and translating that into art, into spoken art, So now, looking at that, there was a big market that was so flamboyant, but it does not record. So the idea for Delight Room Records was like, okay, fine. Since then, at that time, because I was also drunk on the performance hype, I performed it so many places until I realized, okay, fine, maybe I need to slow down. Everything that I've written, people have heard, but people can't take home and listen to.
True.
You understand? So the Light Room Records then started getting more momentum, you know. And then it was a number of phases for me to get here. There was an idea that I also had called the House of Poets, meaning introducing poetry and house, because we had a producer that I was working with at that time, right? And that was our idea. And then from then on, it was a matter of becoming a completely house studio. Until I realized that, you know what, maybe the dream, as much as I have it, has been now influenced by other people. So I like the purity of everything coming together, but if the main component is being sidelined, I realized I was doing something wrong. Okay, now then, for this version of the Light Room Records thing, right? Yeah, man. So everything was like disbanded. I was alone, and there was a kid. His name was Seso. Was looking for a studio. One kid, right now I think he's in Pretoria or something like that. And then he came through. I spoke to him, and it's like, no, you can bring your friends, right? And then when the friends came, that's when your Purple came, Several came, Devza came, you know. And then I started realizing a whole lot of people. Now I realized that there is more potential here than what I actually thought, right? And then again, which this is my fault this time, I was like, okay, let me put poetry on the side and let me develop these artists. Because when they came through here, it was a matter of, first and foremost, vocal projection, right? Recording and performing, two different things. And just rapping along and recording while you rap, two different things. So I then took on the role of mentor and kind of like artist management, you know? And then we started recording extensively. So much so that there's a lot of...
So you're multitasking now.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. From one thought, so many things branched out.
Yeah,
so many things branched out. So now...
So you're a manager, you're a producer, you're also a scout.
Marketer, investor, like, hey, man. Transportation guy after the shows. Born, MC at my own shows. Bartendering, look. Like I've done a lot, okay? I've done a lot. So now the thing is, now I'm happy in such a way that when I do decide to pick up a pen, right, and write something, I can already see where it's going to end up. Meaning it's going to come from here, from thought to paper, to practice, to recording, to having an album art, to having maybe a clip on TikTok, probably maybe performing the same thing because it's in demand at a show somewhere. So now, that's the vision that we didn't have when we were growing up. You record and then until what? You perform and then what? You have a CD for sale and then what? But with the technology today and everything that's going on, I can believe that the Light Room Records is positioned at such a point that given the right influence and the manpower, when you write a poem today, right, within the same month, it can be published.
True.
So imagine the speed then in which music can be produced compared to when I had to struggle. You know. So now the idea of I mean, the main purpose of the Light Room Records is to make recording, music, and art to have a space in time. So it's not only like recording for performance; it's recording to document our current times, our current, almost like if a song can be a fossil, you can see the age of what the people lived, you know, how they were thinking, what they were recording on, the quality of the music back then. And then if you compare it with something that's going to happen 10 years in the future, I think then what we are recording today is going to be something that is going to be a pillar that is positive when we look at history. So that's what I would like the Light Room Records to be.
So tell us, and the viewers at home, what do you think about PR, or should I say office, as in so far as artist, the craft? Because, you know, at some point, we as either creative content creators, we are unable to reach the niche market. We only focusing on making, but the market point of view We are not there. What do you think about that?
Yeah. When you say that, I remember the one criticism that won't leave my heart is like, you guys are out here at sessions performing for artists. Artists performing for artists.
Yes.
And I'm like, we don't have an audience. Now that when you bring that niche market, I think with where we are right now, the type of art that we're doing is more infrastructure.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna use poetry with art, with paintings, right?
Painting isn't graffiti, or just
no,
art.
whether it's wax, whether it's pencils, whatever, right? Why I'm saying infrastructure is that there needs to be a mindset. Now, the infrastructure is not physical. It's the purpose as to why you are doing what you are doing.
True.
So, if I'm writing a poem today, is it to become famous? Is it to become viral, to go viral, or is it to entertain and teach? So once the infrastructure is solid in terms of what you want to get across,
as digital as it is,
then it's fine. Because then look at how people are making money today, right? Why I used art is like someone can just start a live, be quiet, paint, and everybody donates money. Whether it's a pencil or whatnot, you can talk along. It's like, guys, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just freestyling, blah, 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 blah. But then try to write the poem on a live stream, asking people's views as to how is it going to go, I think then the infrastructure that we didn't have back then, we have today. And if I can say, poetry needs more experimentation. We can see it on TV, but it's a small amount. You can hear it on an ad. You can hear voice actors. You can see like a feature maybe on a television show. But it's small. It's
not
tiny.
growing.
Exactly. So now, how do we grow that infrastructure? That's where I'm at.
And many people are into poetry.
No, the thing is, poetry lives from Monday morning until Thursday night, and then from then on it can be music all you want.